Hi, I am Graham Bullock from learningalias.co.uk, and I'm here today to talk to you about the student's work and how he can improve the situation he has with his A-pillar blend. The A-pillar blend is one of the most tricky parts on the car. Let's start off by telling you what's right. When we look down here, we see that we have a nice flow here of the A-pillar round into the screen, and I've checked that and there's curvature there, and we have a nice progressive flow here, and we know we must check that with a curvature comb. So let's do that now. You can see straight away that the trim edge is terrible, so we need to untrim, delete the curves on surface and project a new curve, and then test the curve on surface with a comb whilst you still have the projection curve in place, and then you can slide the Seaveys on the projection curve to improve the curvature here, the smoothness of flow. You see this is all over the place, and you're going to really fight to get G2 with your patches onto a trim edge like this. This is the curve that I'm going to replace it with. You see it's much smoother. Let's project it onto the surface and then check it again. Whenever you're projecting onto a surface which is accelerating away from you in the view, then you're never going to get a perfect curve on surface, but let's have a go and see how it goes. You can see that we have a much smoother curve now. It's not perfect. It's got something which is quite worrying actually, is that little break down there in curvature, and you can see we've got curvature between the two surfaces, so that's not the problem. The problem is probably some erratic CV behavior on this surface here. In fact, we could take a quick look at that. I've realigned this now to get rid of that kink there, and I used the projection mode in the align tool. You notice that the student has this line here for the top of his blend, and the first thing that I'll say about that is that it's not sympathetic to this footprint of the blend here. You see it's curving upwards, so you'd expect the top of the blend to curve in a similar fashion, and that would be your starting point. If that didn't work, you try something else, but you definitely wouldn't want it pinching down like that. And another very important point is that this foot of the A-pillar, which is the top end of the blend, has to be G2 to this trim surface here on the side glass, otherwise you won't get the blend flying along the side of the car. So to get this new trim curve, just put a degree 3 or 4 curve here and align it to this trim edge, and then hand model it, and let's have a look at the comb that it's giving us. You see it's a bit jagged there, and that is probably because of the CV distribution on the hull there. Let's have a look. Actually the CVs look very good. They're very nicely aligned, so that isn't the problem. So I think we could perhaps adjust the projection curve, so let's do that. There's the curve looking a lot better. Let's project it and then test the resultant curve on surface. And there it is, looking a lot smoother, a lot better, much more chance of getting curvature along here, and a lot easier to do so. So be very careful with your curves on surface. Always examine them, and don't accept second best or third best. Get rid of them if they're no good. I'll show you just quickly. We could also slide a CV on the projection curve to improve. We can't slide that one because it's influenced by the alignment, but you get the idea. That's a good example there. If I slide that one there, you see how it ruins the curve on surface. I've put this groove in here which lines up with the parting line at the front edge of the door, because I'm bearing in mind as I'm working out my patch layout here that I can lose any problems with getting G2 to flow through here with that parting line. Then I want to show you something which is a definite no-no here. This student has built a patch there, and the problem with that is that first of all it doesn't end in the right place there. There's no point in ending a patch there with a gap. It should end at the end of this trim edge here. And the other problem with it is that it's working the wrong way around. First of all, we build the A-pillar blend. We don't know what shape the A-pillar blend is going to end up exactly, so we build it first, and once we've built it, we then model from the edge of the A-pillar blend back along the side glass and shoulder blend to the C-pillar. So we do the C-pillar, we do the A-pillar, and then we fill in with another blend here. So this blend is driven by the A-pillar blend. Brought up the stage editor here, and those of you that don't already use it, you can have several files open at the same time in Alias. If you want to see them through for reference like that, like so, you just make them visible here, but normally you make them visible here, but normally I have those checked off. And then if I want to switch to the second issue of this wire, which is that one, I can do so like that. I'll just move that editor out of the way. Okay, so this is the A-pillar blend. Let's have a look so I can talk you through how it's constructed. So you've seen all the preparation, and now it's just a question of talking quickly about curves. Each one of these curves is built to a construction plane. I'll put some curves in for you so you can see how that's done. We'll take the palette and we'll go to construction. We'll take a 3-point plane, and then going to go to F5 now. So that's my first point and my second point there. And then my next curve, that'd be one curve. My next curve, I want very close to that. From experience, I know that where I'm going to need it. So I'll take another 3-point, and I can float. I can go anywhere on the surface, but I'm going to put it on the edge of the surface there, about there, and I'll just put all my planes in. And these are all the planes that I think that I'm going to need. So now we can start putting in some 5-degree curves. The curve snap to there, and another point there for you. You see, get there the yellow. Surely it's a yellow cross that you get, and I can go along, and the planes do a wonderful job. So I'll do all those, and I'll get back to you. There are all the curves in place. Now I need to extend them, project, and then align them. And one thing about I should mention is that curve there. If we come and look at it in F6, we see that it's nice and vertical, ready to build this theoretical side glass to shoulder blend from later. I'm using an instance of the extend tool set up in my shelf permanently. It's extend merge off linear, and then hit go, and then if we hit the curve we get a nice little curve which isn't attached, which we can use to project onto the surfaces. So that's all done. Control Q on my keypad is project. Pick all the surfaces you want to project onto, hit the space bar, and hit the space bar again. Now you've got to delete all those little curves you don't want. You can see in my shelf here that I have instances of the curvature locator and also of the align tool. So I'll have one there for G0, G1 and G2, and for most of the tools I have these in my various shelves. So now we want to align all these curves to our curves on surface, and I'll go along and do them all, and then I'll come back to you. Check all your curves with a curve comb. Make sure that they are planar. You can see planar, planar, planar. That's very important. If you don't have your boundary curves planar, then you're asking Alias to do a hell of a calculation each time you're trying to build a surface, putting a lot of strain on the system, and you're hardly likely to get perfect results if you don't give clean input to the system.